Hi everyone. This video is to further educate you, if you've heard this before, or introduce you to diaphragm breath, which is the foundation for all movement. It should be the foundation for all safe movement, especially postpartum or during pregnancy, but really forever. So the diaphragm and the pelvic floor work together, and they inform one another. So if one is doing one thing but the other thing doesn't quite know how to coordinate with it, then you're not going to get efficient use out of either one. And our torso is like a pressure system in the body that stabilizes the spine. And so if we're not aware of how to manage that pressure, we can create injury during movement, especially lifting, but all movement. So the diaphragm sits in the torso underneath the rib cage, and it looks like this when it's relaxed, and also the pelvic floor, right? It kind of sits this way when it's relaxed, and they both should drop down together and lift up together at the same time. So when we're inhaling, the diaphragm needs to drop down to create space for the lungs to expand. So when we inhale, the diaphragm looks like this. When we exhale, the diaphragm returns to its relaxed position. So the pelvic floor should also do the same thing. So the pelvic floor needs to drop down and relax on the breath in, and then the contraction or the lift of the pelvic floor should always be coordinated with the exhale. So you can just practice a couple of practice rounds of just breathing in and allowing the pelvic floor to relax down. As you can see, I'm kneeling on a foam roller here. I'm kind of straddling it like so, and my knees are comfortable, my hips are comfortable, my pelvis is in neutral. And it really allows you to kind of get some feedback of the pelvic floor. The perineum is like engaged with the foam roller. So it's a really nice way to get feedback. So you can take a couple of practice rounds inhaling, feeling your pelvic floor drop and relax, and exhaling, feeling your pelvic floor lift. So just drawing those muscles in and up like you're stopping a stream of urine or gas from coming out. So inhaling, letting the pelvic floor relax, and exhaling, lifting it up. Go ahead and practice a couple of rounds like that. I'm going to turn my body to the side so that you can see also what's happening with my rib cage in the back of my body. Because a lot of people think that diaphragm breathing is just into the front, so letting the belly expand forward. But really you want to feel expansion on the sides of the waist and also in your back. So another good little technique is to take your hands onto the sides of your rib cage and feel as you inhale, your rib cage will expand outward into your hands, and as you exhale, they wrap back into the midline. So you can feel that for yourselves for a couple of rounds. And then again, like I said, I'll turn my body to the side so you can see what's happening in the back of my ribs, in the back of my body. So I'll turn to the side, I'll relax my arms. You can see that my pelvis is in neutral, right? I'm not gonna tuck under or arch with my breath at all. I'm gonna keep everything stable here. And so you'll just notice as I inhale, I'm not only getting expansion of my belly forward, but also of my back ribs backward. And as I exhale, everything draws back to the midline. I'll just show you one more time. And so you'll notice that the breath is just happening in the lungs. I'm not changing the position of my spine. And I'm not rocking my pelvis forward and back. Everything's staying stable, and I'm just using the movement of the rib cage. You can imagine that your rib cage are like bucket handles. So when you inhale, they move out and up. When you exhale, they move down and in. So kind of picture that as you breathe. And you can go through this video a couple of times or pause it and try it on your own, feeling all of those things that I just talked about. And hopefully that will allow you to absorb the information a little bit easier when you come to a session or when you come to class. My hope is that this just gives you an introduction and a way of engaging and exploring your own body. And everybody has a journey with this. Some people it comes naturally, it's kind of quick, you pick up on it. Other people it takes a lot of practice. More commonly, it takes a lot of practice. So just give yourself some freedom and some time to really be patient and practice as much as you need to. It's all a journey.